What if the secret to a calmer, stronger, and more meaningful life was hidden in words written over 2,000 years ago? Welcome to Daily Stoic Habits, where we dive deep into timeless wisdom to transform the way you live, think, and thrive. Today, we're embarking on a journey to uncover the power of Stoic philosophy, those profound, punchy sayings from ancient thinkers that still hit hard in our chaotic modern world. Stick with me, because by the end of this, you'll see why. These ideas aren't just old quotes, but a blueprint for living your best life. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button for Daily Stoic Habits and ring the bell so you never miss a dose of wisdom. Picture a world where stress doesn't own you, where setbacks don't break you, and where your mind stays clear no matter what life throws your way. That's the promise of Stoicism, a philosophy born in the bustling streets of ancient Greece and Rome, yet more relevant than ever. It's not about sitting cross-legged on a mountain or chasing some unattainable zen. Stoicism is practical, gritty, and real, a toolkit for navigating life's highs and lows with unshakable calm. At its heart are the teachings of three legendary figures: Seneca, the sharp-witted advisor who faced exile and betrayal; Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor who ruled an empire while wrestling with his own doubts; and Epictetus, a former slave who turned his suffering into wisdom. Their words, short, raw, unforgettable, cut through the noise of our distracted lives like a blade. Why do these ancient sayings matter today? Because they tackle the same struggles we all face: anxiety, loss, ambition, and the search for purpose. Seneca once said, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." Think about that. How often do you lie awake, replaying worst-case scenarios that never happen? Or take Marcus Aurelius. "You have power over your mind, not outside events." That's not just a quote. It's a challenge to take control in a world that feels out of control. These aren't dusty proverbs for history buffs. They're battle-tested principles for anyone who wants to live with clarity and courage. This video is your guide to unlocking the brilliance of Stoic sayings. We're not just reading old texts. We're digging into what they mean, why they resonate, and how you can use them to level up your life. From mastering your emotions to facing tough choices, Stoicism offers answers that are simple but not simplistic. It's about action, not just ideas. Ever wonder how some people stay cool under pressure while others crumble? That's the Stoic edge, and we're about to break it down. Here's what's coming up. First, we'll lay the foundation of Stoic philosophy, its core ideas, and why they're a game changer. Then we'll unpack some of the most powerful Stoic sayings line by line and show you how they apply to real-life moments, from handling a bad day to chasing your biggest dreams. Finally, we'll talk about weaving these principles into your daily routine so you can live with purpose and resilience. By the end, you'll have practical tools to start your own Stoic journey. Before we dive in, let's set the stage. Stoicism isn't about suppressing emotions or pretending life is perfect. It's about seeing things clearly, choosing your response, and focusing on what you can control. In a world of endless notifications, comparison traps, and uncertainty, that's a superpower. So, grab a coffee, settle in, and let's explore how the words of ancient philosophers can spark a revolution in your life. If you're ready to discover how Stoicism can make you unstoppable, smash that like button, and let's get started. Stoicism, born in the vibrant streets of ancient Athens, isn't just a philosophy, it's a way of life, a compass for navigating the messines of human existence. At its core, it's about harnessing reason, embracing virtue, and mastering self-control to live well, no matter what chaos swirls around you. Imagine a Roman marketplace, alive with shouts and clatter, where philosophers like Zeno first taught that true happiness doesn't come from wealth or status, but from aligning your mind with nature's rational order. That's where Stoicism took root, offering a practical guide to thrive in a world that's often unpredictable. The beating heart of Stoicism lies in three interlocking principles: reason, virtue, and self-discipline. Reason is your inner compass, the tool to cut through emotional fog and see reality clearly. It's not about overthinking, but about grounding your choices in logic, like a sailor reading the stars to stay on course. Virtue, the Stoics argued, is the only true good more valuable than fame, money, or even health. It's about living with integrity, doing what's right even when no one's watching. Self-discipline ties it all together, the grit to stick to your principles when life tempts you to stray. Picture Epictetus, a former slave, reminding his students that while they couldn't control their circumstances, they could control their response. That's the Stoic promise. Your mind is your fortress. These ideas crystallize in the four cardinal virtues of Stoicism: wisdom, justice, courage, and temperance. Wisdom is the art of seeing things as they are, not as your fears or hopes paint them. It's pausing before you react, asking, what's really going on here? Justice is about fairness, not just for yourself, but for others. It's treating people with respect, even when they don't deserve it, because that's who you choose to be. Courage isn't just facing physical danger. It's standing up for what's right, or admitting you're wrong, even when your stomach churns. Temperance, the least glamorous but most vital, is about balance, knowing when to say no to excess, whether it's food, anger, or ambition. These virtues aren't abstract ideals. They're muscles you build through daily choices. Together, these principles form a framework for living deliberately. Stoicism teaches that life's storms, grief, failure, betrayal can't be avoided, but you can choose how to face them. It's like standing firm in a gale, not because you're fearless, but because you've trained your mind to focus on what's in your control. This clarity is what makes Stoicism timeless, as relevant in a bustling modern city as it was in ancient Rome. Now, let's talk about the role of Stoic sayings, those sharp, memorable lines that carry this philosophy across centuries. Think of them as mental anchors, concise bursts of wisdom you can grab onto when life gets rough. They're not just catchy quotes. They're distilled lessons, designed to stick in your mind and guide your actions. Take Seneca's "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." God, in a single sentence, he captures the human habit of amplifying our worries and offers a nudge to refocus on the present. Or Marcus Aurelius, "What need is there to weep over parts of life? The whole of it calls for tears." It's a stark reminder to accept life's imperfection rather than fight it. These sayings work because they're practical, not preachy, cutting straight to the heart of what it means to be human. The genius of Stoic sayings lies in their portability. They are like tools in a carpenter's belt, ready to be used at a moment's notice. Feeling overwhelmed? Recall Epictetus. There is only one way to happiness, and that is to cease worrying about things which are beyond the power of our will. Facing a tough decision? Seneca's, "If a man knows not to which port he sails, no wind is favorable," pushes you to clarify your purpose. These lines don't just inspire, they demand action, urging you to apply reason and virtue right now, not tomorrow. They're short because life doesn't give you time for long lectures when you're in the thick of it. Stoic sayings also bridge the gap between theory and practice. The philosophy's big ideas, reason, virtue, self-control, can feel lofty, but the sayings ground them in everyday life. They're not meant to be memorized for a test, but lived, tested in the heat of real-world challenges. When you're stuck in traffic, fuming, a line like "You have power over your mind, not outside events," can snap you back to what you can control, your attitude. When you're tempted to lash out, justice and temperance, echoed in a saying, remind you to pause. This is why Stoic writings, from Seneca's letters to Marcus's meditations, are packed with these nuggets. They're meant to be carried into battle. Whether that's a literal war or the quiet struggle of a bad day. What makes these sayings endure is their universal truth. They don't rely on specific cultures or eras. They speak to the human condition. Whether you're a Roman emperor or a barista, the challenge of mastering your emotions is the same. Stoicism's principles distilled into these lines offer a roadmap to resilience, not by shielding you from pain, but by teaching you to walk through it with dignity. As we explore Stoicism further, these sayings will be our guide, lighting the path to a life of purpose and strength. Stoicism's power shines through its sayings. Short, piercing truths that cut through life's noise. These words from Seneca, Marcus Aurelius, and Epictetus aren't just philosophical musings. They're practical tools forged in the heat of real struggles. Below, we dive into 6 iconic Stoic quotes, unpacking their context, meaning, and how they apply to our lives. Today, each offers a lens to see challenges clearly and act with purpose. First, let's start with Marcus Aurelius. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Written in his private journal, Meditations during grueling military campaigns, this line reflects Marcus grappling with the chaos of ruling an empire. He reminds himself that while he can't control wars, betrayals, or even his own mortality, he can control his thoughts. The meaning is clear. Strength comes from focusing on your inner response, not external turmoil. In today's world, think of a bad day at work. Your boss snaps, deadlines loom, and everything feels personal.
Oh.
It's easy to spiral, but Marcus's words pull you back. Can't change your boss's mood, but you can choose not to let it ruin your day. Practically try this. When stress hits, pause, take 3 deep breaths, and ask, what can I control here? Reframe the situation. By focusing on your attitude, journaling your thoughts at night can also reinforce this mental discipline, turning chaos into clarity. Next, Seneca's, we suffer more in imagination than in reality. As a statesman exiled by Emperor Claudius, Seneca knew fear and uncertainty. In his letters to Lucilius, he warns that we amplify our pain by obsessing over what might happen. The mind spins, stories losing a job, failing a project that often hurt more than the actual event. This resonates in our age of overthinking. Picture lying awake, worrying about a big presentation. Your brain conjures every worst-case scenario. Stumbling, forgetting your lines, looking foolish. Yet when the moment arrives, it's rarely as bad as you feared. Seneca's insight urges us to stay grounded in the present. To apply this, practice negative visualization. Briefly imagine the worst outcome, then let it go, focusing on what's real now. Another trick is setting a 5-minute timer to worry, then moving on. This curbs the imagination's runaway train, freeing you to act with calm. Epictetus offers, there is only one way to happiness, and that is to cease worrying about things which are beyond the power of our will. A former slave who gained freedom. Epictetus taught in his discourses that chasing what's uncontrollable, others' opinions, wealth, or luck breeds misery. Happiness lies in focusing on your choices and actions. Today, this hits home when you're scrolling social media, envying someone's perfect life. Their success isn't yours to control, but your effort is. Or consider a delayed flight. Fuming won't make it depart sooner, but your mindset can make the wait bearable. To live this, practice the dichotomy of control. Each morning, list what's in your power, your work ethic, kindness, and what's not traffic, others' moods. Focus only on the first list. Meditation can help too. Spend 5 minutes reflecting on what you can shape, letting go of the rest. Seneca again. If a man knows not to which port he sails, no wind is favorable. From his moral letters, this reflects his belief that purpose drives a good life. Without a clear goal, every opportunity feels like a dead end. Seneca, navigating Rome's treacherous politics, knew aimlessness led to ruin. In modern life, this speaks to drifting through jobs or relationships without direction. Ever feel stuck? Like you're just going through the motions? Yeah, maybe you're chasing promotions or trends without asking what you truly want. To apply this, set a North Star. Write down one core goal, say, building a meaningful career or stronger family ties. Break it into small steps, like networking weekly or scheduling family dinners. Review your progress monthly to stay on course. This clarity turns random wins into favorable ones. Marcus Aurelius is what need is there to weep over parts of. Life, the whole of it calls for tears. Penned amid personal losses and the burdens of leadership. This line from Meditations captures Marcus's acceptance of life's inevitable pain. He's not cynical, but realistic. Suffering is universal, so why fixate on one slice of it? Not today. This applies when you're reeling from a breakup or a missed opportunity. It's tempting to dwell, but Marcus urges you to see the bigger picture. Life is a tapestry of joy and sorrow. To use this practice perspective shifting. When upset, ask, will this matter in a year? Or try gratitude journaling. List 3 things you're thankful for daily to balance the pain. Volunteering can also widen your lens, reminding you that struggle is shared, softening your own grief. Finally, Epictetus. It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. In his Enchiridion, Epictetus, shaped by slavery's hardships, emphasizes that events are neutral. Our judgments give them meaning. A rejection letter isn't inherently bad, it's your story about it that stings. In real life, think of getting cut off in traffic. The act itself is just a car moving. Your anger makes it personal. Or when a friend cancels plans, you might assume they don't care, but that's your interpretation, not fact. To apply this, practice reframing. When something frustrates you, write down the event neutrally. For example, they canceled dinner. Then list 3 possible reasons they're busy, stressed, or forgot that aren't about you. Over time, this builds emotional agility, letting you respond with reason, not reflex. These 6 sayings, though centuries old, are alive with relevance. Marcus teaches us to master our minds, Seneca to tame our fears and clarify our purpose, Epictetus to focus on what we control and reframe our reactions. Together, they form a Stoic toolkit for modern life. Facing a tough conversation? Channel Marcus's focus on your response. Drowning in what-ifs. Seneca's realism pulls you back, feeling directionless. His call for a port gives you purpose. Stuck in a rut? Epictetus reminds you to rewrite the story. These aren't just words, they're invitations to act differently. To make these sayings stick, try this daily practice. Pick one quote each morning and write it down. Reflect on a situation where it applies, maybe a work conflict or personal doubt. Decide on one action inspired by the quote, like pausing before reacting or listing what's in your control. At day's end, journal how it went. This builds a habit of living stoically, turning ancient wisdom into modern strength. Life will always be messy, but with these sayings, you're equipped to face it with clarity, courage, and calm. Life today moves fast and less notifications, looming deadlines, and the constant hum of uncertainty. Stoicism, with its focus on reason and virtue, offers a lifeline to navigate this chaos. It's not about escaping stress, failure, or anxiety, but about facing them with clarity and strength. By weaving Stoic principles and sayings into daily habits, you can build resilience and find peace no matter what comes your way. Stress is a universal trigger. Whether it's a work crisis or a personal argument, the Stoic approach starts with what you can control. Marcus Aurelius's "You have power over your mind, not outside events" is a perfect anchor. When you're stuck in traffic, heart racing, you can't move the cars, but you can shift your mindset. Try this. Pause. Breathe deeply for 10 seconds and ask, what's in my control? Maybe it's listening to a podcast to stay calm or mentally planning your next task. This simple act rewires your response, turning frustration into focus. Another tool is Epictetus's. It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. When stress spikes, write down the event neutrally. Say, the meeting went poorly. Then list one action you can take, like preparing better next time. This keeps you grounded in action, not panic. Failure stings, whether it's missing a promotion or flubbing a project. Stoicism reframes failure as a chance to grow. Seneca's "We suffer more in imagination than in reality" reminds us not to amplify setbacks with what-ifs. Picture bombing a presentation. Your mind spirals. "I'm incompetent. I'll never recover." Seneca would urge you to stick to facts. You stumbled, but you can improve. To apply this, practice post-mortem reflection. After a setback, jot down what went wrong, what you learned, and one step forward, like practicing public speaking. Marcus's "What need is there to weep over parts of life" also helps. Failure is just one thread in life's tapestry. To move on, try gratitude. List 3 things that went well that day to balance the sting. This builds perspective, making failures feel less like dead ends. Asterisk anxiety thrives on uncertainty. Job security, relationships, the future. Epictetus's "There is only one way to happiness, and that is to cease worrying about things which are beyond the power of our will" is a game changer. You can't control a layoff, but you can control your skills and effort. When anxiety creeps in, use the control test. Write to lists what you can influence: your preparation, attitude, and what you can't: others' decisions. Focus only on the first. Another tactic is Seneca's negative visualization. Spend a minute imagining a feared outcome, like losing a job, then let it go, focusing on what you can do now, like updating your resume. This tames anxiety by preparing you without obsessing. Integrating Stoic sayings into daily routines makes these ideas stick. Journaling is a powerful start. Each night, spend 5 minutes reflecting on a Stoic quote. Take Seneca's, "If a man knows not to which port he sails, no wind is favorable." Write how it applied today. Did you stay focused on your goals or get sidetracked? Set one intention for tomorrow, like prioritizing a key task. This builds purpose over time. Pair journaling with a quote anchor. Pick a saying weekly, like Marcus's "You have power over your mind," and write it on a sticky note by your desk. Glance at it during tough moments to recenter. Apps like Notion or a simple notebook work well for this. Meditation, Stoic style, is another game changer. Like modern mindfulness, Stoic meditation is active reflection. Each morning, spend 10 minutes contemplating a saying, like Epictetus's, "It's not what happens to you." Picture a challenge you might face: a rude coworker, a tight deadline, and rehearse staying calm and rational. This premeditatio malorum, preparing for evils, trains your mind to handle real stress. At day's end, reflect again. Did you react as planned? Just for tomorrow? Even 5 minutes of this builds mental muscle, making Stoic principles second nature. The rewards of living stoically are profound. Inner peace comes from focusing on what you control, letting go of what you don't. A missed bus or a harsh comment loses its power when you choose your response. This isn't numbness, but freedom. Your happiness depends on you, not the world's whims. Resilience grows too. Failures become lessons, stress becomes manageable, and anxiety loses its grip. You're not unbreakable, you're adaptable, like a tree bending in a storm but standing tall. Over time, these habits, journaling, meditating, reframing, forge a life of purpose and strength. Grounded in Stoic wisdom, Stoicism isn't just ancient wisdom, it's a practical guide for thriving in today's whirlwind of stress and uncertainty. Its core principles, reason, virtue, and self-control, offer a roadmap to a life of clarity and resilience. The sayings of Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus. Like you have power over your mind, not outside events, or we suffer more in imagination than in reality. Distill this philosophy into sharp, actionable truths. These aren't mere quotes. They're tools to reframe setbacks, tame anxiety, and stay grounded when life feels overwhelming. By focusing on what you can control and letting go of what you can't, Stoicism transforms challenges into opportunities for growth. Living by these principles isn't about perfection, but progress. Applying Stoic sayings through daily habits, journaling, meditating, or pausing to reflect builds a foundation for inner peace and strength. Whether you're facing a tough day at work or wrestling with doubt, these ideas remind you that your response is your power. This matters because a meaningful life isn't found in fleeting pleasures or external wins, but in aligning your actions with purpose and integrity. Stoicism shows you how to stand firm, not by avoiding pain, but by embracing it with courage. Start your Stoic journey today. Pick up Meditations by Marcus Aurelius or Seneca's Letters. Reflect on one saying each. Dare it down. Chew on its meaning and test it in your life. Try a 5-minute morning meditation, picturing challenges and rehearsing calm responses. Small steps like these compound, reshaping how you think and act. The path isn't easy, but it's worth it. A life of less worry and more purpose awaits. Due to time constraints, we'll wrap up here. I hope this video has been helpful. If it offers even a small spark of insight, I'm deeply grateful. Save this video to revisit whenever you need a reminder. Share it with others. Sometimes a timely message can shift someone's perspective forever. Subscribe to Daily Stoic Habits and turn on notifications so you don't miss our next dose of wisdom. Goodbye for now, and I'll see you soon.